How do I make over $2,000 a month at 17 years old? That's what we'll be going over in today's video. Hey everyone, this is the Financial Ace, or Nick here, and today I'm going to show you how I make over $2,000 a month at 17 years old and how you can do with this simple business. Now, before I start, this is an extremely simple business model. However, you must keep in mind that it is not passive. You will have to put in the work if you do want the results that I get. To put it simply, I make over $2,000 a month by flipping iPhones. Though it seems like a side hustle, this can be turned into a full-time income if done correctly. For anyone who has never heard of this, let me explain. I go on apps like Facebook Marketplace, Letgo, or Craigslist and find iPhones that are under market value. I then message all the sellers, negotiate a price, and if I'm able to make a good profit on it, I will go to the seller, pick up that phone, come back to my house, repost the phone on these apps again with a markup of $100 to $200, and then sell the phone for the profit. Let's talk a bit about earnings. Now, to put it into perspective, I used to work for minimum wage at a grocery store and make about $780 a month after taxes and deductions. Now, with this business, I've made about $2,400, give or take, in my best month. Now, even though I'm working more hours while doing this business, I still am a full-time student. And the best part about all of this is that I'm learning what it takes to run a small business, and I'm learning about things like margins, marketing, and sales. Now that you understand the business model, let's go over some of the pros and cons in this business. Now, the first pro we have is low entry costs. You can buy an iPhone 6 for under $100 and easily flip it to make a quick profit that you therefore will reinvest and buy better phones to make a bigger profit. Now, the second pro to this business is that it's an easy model. Anyone can do this, anyone can understand it. It's not hard, it doesn't take skill, it's pretty easy to do. Now, the third pro to this business is you get a quick return and it's easy to build up capital to therefore then invest. With this business, your money is growing every single month, the capital is getting bigger and bigger, and therefore this is a really great business to get quick cash to then invest in assets and make you more money. Now, the fourth pro we have is scalability. If you decide to do this business, then it can be pretty easy to scale if you decide to therefore then go into a brick and mortar store and or just build up enough capital to keep buying more and more phones and then selling them every month. There are people that do extremely well with this and actually move on to eBay and do over $10,000 a month on their own just by flipping phones. Like I said earlier in the video, this can be your full-time income if done correctly. Now, the fifth pro we have is low marketing costs. This business has next to no marketing costs. For the first month, where I made about $2,400, I spent absolutely $0 on marketing. My expenses just included my transportation and things like that. But as far as marketing goes, it is extremely cheap. Now you know some of the pros about this business, but like anything in life, there are cons as well. So let's get into some of those. Safety is the first con that you have to worry about. Now, safety is something that is so important in this business, as I myself have got a phone stolen from me and lost about $800 in doing so. And before anyone comments, that was actually in a public place in the middle of a restaurant where that happened. There's an ongoing police investigation. However, the restaurant was unable to recover the CCTV footage and that guy was never found, and I lost about $800 during that. Now, things you can do to be as safe as possible is always meet in busy public places with working cameras. Locations like banks, busy Starbucks, things like that are great places to meet for your safety. Now, the second con to this business is the amount of market research. Now, I've never heard anyone really talk about this, but as you know, new iPhones come out all the time, which means the older iPhones' prices go down. This is something you have to do every day just to make sure you know what your prices are at. If you're buying phones, you always want to make sure you can make a profit and you won't lose any money. You want to make sure that if you're buying a phone for $500 and you want to sell it for $600, if the new iPhone comes out, that phone's price will tank and you can still lose money on that phone instead of make money. So always do your market research. Now, the third con to this business is it's a boots on the ground business model, which actually means that you will have to be going out there and doing the work. You'll have to be going out there and picking up phones. You might have to go out there and sell the phones. It's not a really passive business unless this is done online. So this is definitely something to keep in mind if this business model interests you. Now, like I said, this is a boots on the ground model, which means you either have to drive or take public transportation to these places to pick up some phones. Now, where I live in a big area with all these cities combined, so sometimes I have to travel about an hour and a half each way on transit just to go pick up a phone because I do not own a car. And for those of you wondering, the reason I don't own a car is because where I live, it's about $350 plus per month for car insurance for me as I'm a new driver, which to me is extremely ridiculous. Therefore, I just keep the money and invest it instead. All right, so now you know the business model and the pros and cons. Let's answer some questions you may have about this business. All right, so the first question is, should you do it? And the short answer to that is yes, you should do it. This is an extremely simple business to get into, and if you have a couple $100 or $1,000 laying around, this can be extremely profitable for you to grow that money more than any other investment that you'd have. Number two, how long will I do this business? And the short answer to that is I actually don't know how long I'll be doing this business for. This business makes more money than any full-time minimum wage job. Therefore, I really like being my own boss, working my own hours, and doing my own thing. I don't have to work under someone. I don't have to do hard labor. I don't have to get yelled at for doing this thing wrong or that thing wrong. Now, question number three. What do I do with the profits? Now, the simple answer is invest. I invest all the profits I have either back into the business or into other businesses. So that wraps up today's video. Make sure you smash the like button and leave your comments in the comment section down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.